Hello everyone, I am Ayesha. I welcome you all to the seminar presentation on the topic Plagiarism and its types, which is guided by Professor B.T. Sampath Kumar, Tumkur University. In this presentation, I will talk about what is plagiarism, reasons behind the plagiarism and its types. So let's get started. So what is plagiarism? Plagiarism is presenting work or ideas from another source as your own, with or without consent of the original author, by incorporating it into your work without full acknowledgement. This is a process or a practice where the people taking the ideas and works from another sources and pretending it as their own without citing the source and not giving credits to the original author. This practice is known as the plagiarism. So let's see reasons behind the plagiarism. So reasons behind the plagiarisms are desire to get a good grade. The one who is doing this plagiarism have the intention to get a good grade in the academics. Poor time management. They may don't have a time to create their own assignment. Disinterest in the assignment, or maybe don't have an interest to create their own ideas and work. Fear of failing. Fear of failing in the academic, lack of creativity. One maybe don't have a creativeness to create their own work. Belief that they will not get caught. Lack of knowledge about the plagiarism. So these are the reasons behind the plagiarism. So if you know about the concept plagiarism, you may avoid doing the plagiarism. So let's see the types of plagiarism. Types of plagiarism. So complete plagiarism, paraphrasing plagiarism, self-plagiarism, verbatim plagiarism, mosaic plagiarism, source-based plagiarism, accidental plagiarism. There are so many plenty of types of plagiarism are there, in that I have collected some few of types. So let's discuss one by one in detail. Complete plagiarism. So complete plagiarism is the most severe form of plagiarism where a researcher takes a manuscript or study that someone else created and submits it under his or her name. In this type of plagiarism, one pay some pay somebody to write the paper for himself and pretend it as their own created paper and publish it as in their own name. This type of plagiarism is called as a complete plagiarism, or that person may borrow some paper and act it as their own paper. So this type of plagiarism is called as a complete plagiarism. So paraphrasing plagiarism. Paraphrasing is plagiarism if you don't properly credit the original author. Paraphrasing is plagiarism if your text is too close to the original wording, even if you cite the source. If you directly copy a sentence or phrase, you should quote it instead. In this type of plagiarism, the one is taking the whole paragraph from other source and use it in their own work and not citing the source and not giving the credits to the original author and hand over the paper in their own name. This type of plagiarism is called it as a paraphrasing plagiarism. Self-plagiarism. Self-plagiarism, it is also called it as a duplicate plagiarism, is a term for when a writer recycles work for a different assignment or publication and represents it as new. In this type of plagiarism, the one reuses their own ideas and words from the source which is already published by themselves and using it again as a new source and published it as a new source without letting the readers know that. So this type of plagiarism is known as a self-plagiarism. Verbatim plagiarism. This is also called as a direct plagiarism because in this verbatim plagiarism, copying the text from a source and pasting it directly into your own document without giving a proper credits, even if you delete a few words or replace them with synopsis, it still counts as a verbatim plagiarism. In this type of plagiarism, the one is copying the whole text from another source and pasting it directly into their own work and pretending it as their own work or idea and not giving credits to the original author and not cites the source. This type of plagiarism. In this, directly copying and pasting is occurs, so this type of plagiarism is also called it as direct plagiarism. Mosaic plagiarism. This occurs when a student borrows phrases from a source without using a quotation marks or finds synopsis for the author's language while keeping to the same general structure and meaning of original source. In this type of plagiarism, the one is taking some content from the one source and some content from the another source and make it as a new content. That means patches the content from one source and the another source. This is plagiarism is also called it as a patchwork plagiarism. So this is mosaic plagiarism. Source-based plagiarism. So source-based plagiarism when a researcher references a source that is incorrect or does not exist. It is misleading citation. Plagiarism also occurs when a researcher uses a secondary source of the data or information but only cites the primary source of the information. In this type of plagiarism, the one is not citing the proper source or misleading of a citation, or you can also say that misleading the readers means not citing the proper source or citing some source which does not exist at all. This type of plagiarism is called it as a source-based plagiarism. Accidental plagiarism. In this accidental plagiarism, the one don't know about the plagiarism or not have the intention to do the plagiarism or they don't know that that content is already published or forget to cite the source. So this is also called it as a unintentional plagiarism or the misuse of source is the accidental appropriation of the ideas and materials of others due to a lack of understanding of the conventions of citation and documentation. So this is unintentional plagiarism. So if you have the knowledge about the plagiarism, you can avoid this plagiarism. So the conclusion of this presentation is that you should avoid doing the plagiarism. It is important to avoid the plagiarism. When you properly acknowledge the contributions to knowledge made by other people, you are showing respect for their work and you are giving credits where credit is due. You are not misleading the reader to believe that your work is solely or your own. So the conclusion is that you should know about the plagiarism and you should avoid doing the plagiarism. If you are taking some words and some ideas from the other source, you should give the credits to the original author and you should respect their own ideas and their works by citing the source. This is all about the presentation. I hope you all have the knowledge about the plagiarism and I hope you avoid doing the plagiarism. So thank you. Thank you all.